I know. I just saw you like a couple of minutes ago. Uh-oh, I think I'm muted. Nope, I'm not. So we are waiting for Jen to show up here. So this session is actually going to happen on Zoom because we want to do breakout sessions and stuff like that. So if you registered for this, you should have got an email. If you have not checked your email yet, run over there and check your email. Here's Jen. Hey, Jen.
Hello. Happy Friday. Emily, you survived the week.
I survived the week, and this is probably going to be the craziest session of them all because we're using two platforms. So I was just telling everybody real quick that the session is actually going to happen on Zoom, but it's just the way you kind of need to do the two separate platforms. So everybody got an email that registered for this event with the link going over to Zoom. I see some people starting to show up over there. So here's the deal. We have 100 freelancers talking money. And so 100 people are going to be let in. So first come, first serve. If you're here and you want to go there and didn't get the email, went to spam, whatever, go all the way to the bottom of the page. And the link is there. I mean, I can put it up on the screen, but I can't imagine how or why you would want to try to type all that in. So just go to the bottom of the page. That's going to be there the entire time. Jen, is there anything you want to tell us before we head over to Zoom?
No, I'm just excited about it. So if you are struggling to not be able to connect via Zoom, you can still participate here via StreamYard. So,
okay.
You know, I'd love for you to be in Zoom. You can do more participation there, but wherever you are, there you are.
All right, so you're going to be talking on both screens, so this could be interesting. So I'm going to make sure that I'm muted as much as possible so that we don't get as much any feedback. But we will see how this works.
Awesome. All right. Welcome, everyone, on Zoom. Emily and I are just kicking things off on StreamYard. We are going to get more people to come over here on Zoom. This is a unique Freelance Business Week session because we are using two platforms. Zoom allows us to go into breakouts and have more conversations with each other. So we're gonna go with this and see if technology is on our side today. As you guys all come on in, feel free to say hello in the chat. Let me know where you are joining us from, and also share one word that comes to mind when you hear the word money. It could be an emotion, it could be an object. What is one word that comes to mind when you think about money? So we're going to keep letting some people in here. Welcome, everyone. Michaela is in from Austin, and her word is freedom, which, I love that. Mila is about currency, flowing, yes. Bruce, fun. Oh, Bruce, you and I will get along. I think money is fun as well. Hello from Central New Jersey. Awesome. Welcome as you guys come in. Feel free to say hello. Let me know where you're dialing in from. And a word that you feel or an object about money. So Walter's from DC. Money is safety. Yes, I feel it. All right, so we are going to talk about money in this session. It is one of my favorite topics, and I hope in the next hour it becomes one of your favorite topics too. I know there were some really great financial sessions here this week. Lily Bank was just doing a Q&A earlier today. Did you guys get to join some of those sessions? Did you learn a bit about money this week and how it can show up in your business and help you in your business? Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are just going to jump into some breakouts. I'm going to put 3 questions in the chat here. And how it'll work is you'll either be in one-on-ones or small groups. You'll have 5 minutes, and you can go through all 3 conversation starters. You can take one conversation and go deep. If you really enjoy the conversation that you're having with whoever you're in the room with, then make sure that you exchange information there, or you find them in the Mighty Freelancers Network, or you find them within the conference app. But let's make connections, because if you are having a positive money conversation with somebody here in one of your breakouts, I hope those conversations continue. It is so important for us freelancers to be having some more people in our corner, some more people that we can safely, happily, excitedly talk about money with. So I'm going to start you with these 3 questions. What is your first memory of money? What has been the best money conversation you've had with a client? And how often do you review your business's financials? I'm going to drop you guys into some breakouts here. And you'll have 5 minutes to chat. I'll send you a note halfway through to make sure that if you haven't talked yet, share what's your first memory of money? What has been the best money conversation you've had with a client? And how often do you review your business's financials? All right, I'll see you guys back here in 5 minutes. You should all be seeing some links to join your rooms.
So Jen, if you talk here on StreamYard, can they hear you on Zoom while they're in their breakout rooms?
They cannot. So
right.
I was just gonna flip over to that.
So if you are on with us here on Hey Summit or YouTube and not taking part in the breakout sessions, that's cool, totally fine. But while they're in that 5-minute sessions, what would we like to have our people that are not in the breakout sessions maybe doing or thinking about, or, take a piece of paper? What?
Yeah. So go ahead and share these questions. Either if you want to journal, I love doing some journal prompts every morning. I kind of start with thinking about money. And all 3 of these questions were really great to start that. So Emily, do you want to answer any of these 3 questions? And I'll do the same.
Okay, yes, let's do it.
So what is your first memory of money? What has been the best money conversation you've had with a client? And how often do you review your business's financials?
Okay, I may have to have you go over the second 2, but the first one is very vivid to me. I lived in I was in, I think, 1st grade. And the neighborhood that we lived in was actually kind of an older neighborhood, but they began to build new houses around kind of the outside of it. And so one was right down, like 2 houses down from us. And we used to go, and I could look back now and see that I was interested in architecture my entire life. But I would go and just walk through it, right, as I saw the walls coming up. And so I walked through it like every single weekend. And as they were getting to the end, the developers actually came in, or contractors, while I was doing that. And here's this, little kid looking around in a space that she wasn't supposed to be in, because I probably lifted a window or something, let's do that. But they're like, what did he say to me? I can't remember exactly. He said, so do you want to clean it out? I'll pay you for it. I was like going, really? So what does it mean? So I just need you to sweep all the floors, and pick up, nails and things like that. I said, yes. And I remember doing that and going back, and he gave me $1 bill. And it doesn't sound like much, but in, 1975, that $1 bill to a little kid was huge. Yeah. And I kept that little $1 bill in this little orange box. It was about this big, and I can't tell where the video is. It was about like this, and oh wow, that's pretty hard to do. And that's where I kept all my really, really important stuff, as a 6-year-old. And that $1 bill stayed in it for the longest time.
That is so cool. And so what do you think that taught you about money?
You know what? It was like, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what it taught me about it, other than I remember getting so excited about that one moment. But, if I continue to kind of move forward in my conversation with money, I remember being terrified. I mean, to the point that I wouldn't even spend money, because I was literally terrified of the person that would be checking me out. Candy bar, whatever. Ooh. Scared me to death.
But I think what I love about first job money memories is you kind of start to get it. I'm going to work and I'm going to get paid. And
Yeah.
like, that's a very like easy, like trading our time for dollars or trading our skills for dollars. And so I think there's a lot of like excitement and freedom and opportunity in that makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah. So what was the second question? If we still have time.
What has been the best money conversation you've had with the client?
I think the best one has really been where, and there's been multiple ones of these where the client came back and said, I just can't afford that. Or maybe they even got slightly offended. Oh my gosh. And I was always so happy with the way that I was able to go, that's okay. I completely respect that that's not your budget. This is what I'm going to charge. If you want to, you're welcome to share your budget with me, and I can help you find someone that fits in that budget.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when I worked for an agency, I had a bunch of freelancers that I worked with and staff people, and our budgets were all hourly. That was what our agreement was with this client. And so, they would say, oh man, I don't think it would take $25 to do this deliverable, to do gift bags for our meeting. And I would say, yeah, it does. And if you want, if you want to do it, you would probably like spend your evenings looking for different options, pricing them all out, calling vendors to ask for discounts, presenting options to the leaders, researching again, doing it all over, and you'll get to 25 hours. And she's like, yeah, you're right. Like, you gotta do that. I don't want to do that. So I think it's like, it's okay to say, like, this is how long work takes. Like, this is how long, client, would it take for you to write that article? Because I know I'm not a copywriter, and it takes weeks for me to write an article. So if there's a freelancer that can write an article in 5, 10, 15 hours, or charges me by word, I look at that and I think, how long would it take me, and is that something I want to do?
Yeah, I mean, going back to it's funny going back because I have an experience with events and stuff, but going back to the bag, it's like going, okay, well then you do it.
Yeah.
Just do one bag. I'm just saying one bag.
Right. Yeah. And that's fine. And I think it like, I love having these conversations with clients because it's all about choices. And just like you were saying, like, being confident in your pricing and saying like, yep, this is what it takes for me. And if you want to work together, this is how much it costs. And if you don't, that's fine.
That's okay. I mean, yeah, what I really liked about it was that I didn't get offended by it. And I hear so many freelance business owners talking on different groups and stuff across Facebook at different places. Doesn't mean that they're wrong. I just feel like there's maybe a more proactive way to handle it. Better for you, serving you better, serving your client or potential client better. And, I would usually give two options. We can either pull enough stuff off of the project to get it down into your budget, or I can help you find someone that would fit your budget. And we can add those other things on as money begins coming in. So
that's awesome. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody, from your breakouts. I hope you had so much fun and made a new friend. If you want to share anything that you shared in your breakout, please do so. Drop it in the chat. Let me know. And, if you didn't have a chance to connect with whoever you were in the breakouts and share your contact info, please feel free to do that in the chat as well. Let's talk about it. What is your first memory of money? So for me, I remember it was on my 5th birthday, my grandpa gave me a $5 bill. And at first I was very annoyed that he did not give me a toy for my birthday, but he gave me $5 instead. And then afterwards, my mom took me to the store and I got to pick out my own toy with my money. And that was incredibly exciting to me because it taught me that money is choice and I get to make these choices of what I want. And then I got a Rainbow Bright stamp for $2.34. Then my mom took me to the bank afterwards and I deposited the rest of the money in my savings account. And then of course I got a Dum Dum sucker and then I got a sticker book, and it was like the gift that kept on giving. And I just felt so excited to have these choices with money. And so at its core, I believe that money is choice. If I have $1, I have the choice to save it, spend it, invest it, donate it. I'm making that choice. As we start to build up some more wealth and have some more money, like some of you guys mentioned in the beginning, money gives us freedom and flexibility. And then at its highest level, money is power and control. And that's probably on display more in the last few years than ever, as there is a widening wealth gap, gender, racially, generationally, all of these different wealth gaps that are happening in our country right now. And I'm seeing it a lot too with the way that we run businesses and self-employed people versus full-time employees. And so it's very important for us as self-employed people to have these conversations, to work together, to advocate. I know the PROS Act was talked about this week. Here in Colorado, we have the Equal Pay for Equal Work Act, where any job posting has to include compensation ranges and some other great benefits with that. But we need to be talking about money more so that we can all earn what we're worth, because that's what we hear all the time. You got to earn what you're worth, know your worth, add tax, all of these good things. But it's like, how do we do that? And for me, it's we stop keeping these secrets about money. We stop treating money like it's this secretive thing that we will lose if we talk about it, when in fact, we will really win if we talk about it. And not only will we win, but others will win too. So let's bring up all of our other freelancers with us and do this. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to tell you first and foremost, who am I? And we'll get into all of those good things here. So I'm going to share my screen in 2 places. So we're going to see how this works. Emily, you can let me know too how that works from your end. But are you guys both seeing my slides in slide sorter right now? All right. If somebody can unmute and just tell me if they can see my slides, that would be really helpful.
I see them too. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So today we're going to talk about money mindset. We're going to talk about setting goals, and we're going to talk about your financial A-team. Let me see where I can be here. All right. Quick disclaimer. I am not a licensed financial professional. I'm a community organizer that facilitates money conversations. And I believe that everyone has something to teach and everyone has something to learn. So like I shared a little bit about that first money memory for me at age 5, I have been fortunate enough to have some right time, right place money conversations that allowed me to make some good foundational money decisions in my early 20s, which gave me freedom and flexibility in my 30s. And so I have spent my entire career connecting my clients with their audiences. I started in the music industry, connecting bands to fans. I moved into experiential marketing, connecting brands to consumers. I ended my full-time career connecting leaders to their employees through large-scale corporate events and leadership communications. That's still where I spend some of my freelancing time. However, in 2017, my husband and I decided that we wanted to travel full-time across the country in our Airstream. So I turned my full-time job into my first client and switched from being a full-time employee to a freelancer with them. That allowed me to keep my very favorite clients and let go of the ones that weren't as enjoyable. And I needed to be close to an airport to fly back for client meetings. My husband needed internet, and the rest of the time we could be digital nomads anywhere we wanted to be. In August 2019, I launched the Pledgettes, which is a community for women to talk about money. It's a safe space where we get to share our experiences, celebrate our successes, and ask questions. Each week, we bring in a different expert to talk about their favorite money topics. So we talk about money mindset, impact investing, real estate, freelancing, managing unpredictable income. We kind of talk about every money topic there is. And like I shared with that gift that my grandpa gave me, I believe that money is choice. So I love to say that I'm not a self-made man. And when I hear anyone feel like they've done it all on their own, I just don't believe them. Because anybody who's claiming to be a self-made man had, they had some mentors along the way. They, as a freelancer, may have had some really great clients or got some really lucky breaks. They've had, for this entrepreneurs, they might have had some investors along their way. So I love to say that I'm not a self-made man, but I am a community-made woman. And I'm grateful for my family, my husband, the Pledgettes community, and everybody who has helped me be the community-made woman that I am today, where I get to bring all these money conversations to new people. So there's two sides of money. And so often I think a lot of the financial literacy focuses on the financial side. Spend less, earn more, consider where you're banking, start investing, leverage debt, have a plan. And those are all insanely important, but we also need to look at the emotional side of money. That's kind of that money mindset that we talk about so much. The feelings, beliefs, judgments, assumptions, narratives, blocks. Throw in the chat if you were taught something about money as a kid that you just know is not true today. My mom is such a hard worker, and so she taught me that making money is hard. And so often I know that I get in my own way making money in my freelancing business because I believe I have to work hard, which means I should sit at this desk Monday through Friday, normal business hours, and just keep cranking more and more and more on my business. And that's how I'm going to be successful. I also hear about some of these money blocks and narratives around God will provide. Money is the root of all evil. Gina was taught if you don't have it, don't spend it. It's still true today. Michaela, yes, having a lot of money is greedy. Well, what does that do for us as a freelancer if we believe that having money is greedy? I don't want to be a greedy person. So I've switched that having a lot of money is greedy to having more money amplifies who you already are. So it's true. If you're a greedy person with a little bit of money, you're definitely going to be a greedy person with a lot of money. If you're a generous person with a little bit of money, more money will amplify your generosity. If you can effectively serve your clients with little money, guess what you can do with more money? Effectively serve your clients even more. All right, I'm going to stop my share and we are going to go into another breakout. Let me stop share in both of those. Get out of there. Set up some more breakouts here. I'm going to recreate breakouts and get in some new questions. So this time we are going to talk about what would you do if you won the lottery? In the last breakout, we talked about what is the hardest money or what is the best money conversation you've had with your clients. So this time I want you to answer what has been the hardest money conversation with a client before. And have you changed your pricing in your business? What was that process like? And feel free to go as deep as you want in these conversations. Talk about your pricing strategy if that's where it comes up. Talk about these big goals that you have in your business. Take the conversations as deep as you want to go. Here you guys are. I'll see you back in 5 minutes.
Hey, real quick, what was the last question that you had them talk about?
Have you changed pricing in your business?
Oh, okay.
What was that process like?
Actually putting them in the comments. So if there's people just watching and not able to go, so like we have one person's like, I can't do the breakout. I'm making lunch for my kiddo.
Emily, we talked about this. We knew that some people would be eating and talking,
Right.
but however you can participate today is perfect. Emily, what would you do if you won the lottery?
Oh, you know what? A lot of people say they would pay off debt and stuff. I don't have any debt, so that takes care of that. I've also heard people talk about the first thing you should do is go to every single person that you think might at some point ask you for money because you won the lottery and just write them a check for, $5,000, $10,000 or whatever and say, don't ever ask me for anything. Here's your deal. What would I do? You know what? I think I would probably pour it into all the work that I do now in the freelance space, or pour a fair amount. A lot of the work that I've done, although it's been amazing, wonderful, awesome, all of it has been undercapitalized. And so I would love to see what I could do if I could, just pour a little bit of money on it and marketing campaigns and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think you're absolutely hit the nail on the head for me when you said whatever person you are, when you pour money on that, it makes you more of that person.
Yeah.
That helped me answer that question.
Yes. Yeah. So it gets to amplify the work that is so meaningful and powerful that you're already doing. I love that. So Emily, obviously you have the Mighty Freelancers Network. You have this conference. What else? I know you've got some big goals with this. What else can you do for freelancers that winning the lottery would just accelerate that progress?
And then there's the freelance conference, right? So I would love to be able to get out and actually be on the ground in more cities, right? And go and spend, even if it's just an afternoon or something like that in a city. Like I got to do it in Buffalo here a couple of years back. I've gotten to do it in Denver a time or two and just sit around a table and talk with freelancers and hear their stories. And it would allow me to probably get more people to this, more cities doing a freelance business week in their cities. We just launched this week because of that ProAct panel, Legion of Freelancers. And so what does that mean? What is that going to be? Literally, basically in that conversation, one of the speakers going, what we really need is a legion of freelancers. And so that when we need that voice, we can go tap into it. And the people that are in that legion of freelancers understand that what's going on, they're educated and they have their opinions, whatever they are. But we can tap into that voice, that one united voice. And so I literally, while I was listening to it, bought the domain, created a landing page and pushed it out there. And so if you want to be on that, again, we don't really know what it's going to be yet. But if you want to just say, yes, I'm in, because that's kind of what I'm looking for is proof of, I think it needs to exist. These guys think it needs to exist, but the freelance business owners themselves need to agree that it needs to exist and be a part of it. So, there's that. So what is my big goal? It's creating whatever needs to be created to get freelancers the resources that they need to be successful.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much because I think, going out on your own as freelancers, we want to go leverage our skills, be in our zone of genius as much as we can be. Yeah. And then you kind of get into it and you're like, oh, I need to do this business admin stuff. Oh, I need to make sure my LLC is compliant. I need to pay taxes. I need to have all these systems and stuff. And so then it starts to feel, what I hear so often, it starts to feel very isolating and almost too much on your own. So it's important to connect in with the Mighty Freelancers Network. This Legion, I think, is such a strong idea because so often, I think freelancers sometimes get forgotten because we don't have the lobbyists that large corporations do or that unions do.
But here's what's interesting. There are some lobbyists out there. Again, going back to this concept of the Legion of Freelancers, and I've learned so much this week, which is this much, tiny much, right? And there are some lobbyists out there lobbying for us. And they're I've literally heard them on the phone with me saying, we're trying to lobby for you guys, but we aren't you guys. And, something happens and we need some of you on the steps. So we can't get you there because We don't have to get to you because they're not us. They're not freelancers. They're not where we are. And that really hit me. I was like going, okay, people are trying to fight for us, but we're not fighting for us. So how do we get everyone educated to where when there is a call to arms, call to action in place, we know that, okay, I need to be there. I believe in it. There's a list of things. So I don't know, maybe Mighty Freelance Network goes away. It's a community. If you're not a part of it, it's been a community where people can kind of connect and chat and stuff. But for me, if I have to choose between the two, I'm going to pull everybody over into the Legion of Freelancers because I think it has a much bigger purpose and reason. And even if it's just an email list and a series of webinars throughout the year that we educate people on, that maybe that's all it becomes. But anyway, welcome to Creating on the Fly.
Yeah, welcome back. So Emily and I were talking on the StreamYard around the Freelancers Legion. So I'm not sure if you guys attended any of those sessions this week on the Pros Act and talking about what we can do when we're stronger together as freelancers and lobbying for legislation that benefits us, because sometimes it's like when we are all on our own, it can feel a little bit isolating. So again, welcome back. If you want to share your answer in the chat, what you would do if you won the lottery, the hardest money conversation you've had with a client, or have you changed pricing in your business, please share. I want to get into goal setting a little bit. So what I love about this question, let me get back to sharing screens on 2 platforms here. Share. Share. All right. So, whoops, been too far. Big financial goals. All right. So what I love about this question, what would you do if you won the lottery? This gives us some insight in how big our goals can be, should be. This is a good check-in to see if you're dreaming big enough in your business. Emily shared that she would invest the money into what she's doing with the Freelancer Business Week, the FreeCon, all the stuff that she's already doing. She would just invest in her business. And it looks like from the chat, winning the lottery wouldn't really change Walter's business. He'd probably just keep doing what he's doing. Michaela's going to take some time to travel the world. Gina said what she really needs is a way to add 3 more hours to her workday. Gina, maybe bringing on an independent contractor could potentially give you that, or maybe not. But when we look at goals, the American Association of Training did some research that said if you take these steps, you will increase the probability of achieving your goals. So just having an idea of a goal, you're 10% likely to complete that goal. Consciously deciding that you'll do it, you have a 25% chance. Deciding when you'll do it, a 40% chance. Planning how, 50. Committing to somebody, 65. Having specific accountability appointments with someone, you have a 95% chance of achieving that goal. So now with this lens, what would you do if you had a 95% chance of achieving your goal? So let's think about some financial goals for your business. What I love to do is there are a plethora of goal methods out there, from SMART, HARD, WHOOP, Big, Small, Quick, OGTM, which is more business focused than personal focused. What I like to do is I love to think about my big goal and run them through all the different goal methods. And then that way I can really pick and choose the best of the different methods that work for me. One of my favorites is WHOOP. And what I love about WHOOP is the obstacle plan part. So what happens with WHOOP is you think about this wish. Think as big as you can. A wish without a plan is not a goal. It's probably not going to happen because, again, all of those stats that we just learned. What would achieving this wish do for you? That's the outcome. And then you can think of any obstacle that you have and develop a plan to overcome that obstacle. So I want to earn $108,000 from my business every year. So that outcome is going to give me more flexibility in my own life, the ability to hire more people, the ability to invest more in my business. What are some of those obstacles to it? Well, COVID's certainly an obstacle for me. So, because right now we're just having virtual events and we used to do a lot more in-person events. So if COVID, then what's my plan? If COVID says you can't have in-person events, my plan is to develop engaging, interactive virtual events. I'm going to leverage all the features of Zoom. I'm going to use breakouts. I'm going to get people talking. I'm going to try to build the best virtual events that I can. If obstacle, I don't have the skills to develop a strategic marketing plan, what is my plan? I can hire an independent contractor. I can partner with somebody. I can do a barter or a trade for somebody who has those skills, who can do it faster or better than me. So I love that, of just kind of what are the voices in your head saying that you can't achieve these big goals, and start planning to just get over those obstacles. So I do have a handout that you guys are welcome to chat, to utilize, and I'll share that at the end. And then let's get back into another breakout. Let me stop some screen shares here and get some more conversations. All right. So what would you do if you didn't have to make money? What is a financial goal you are working on in your business? And what do you wish you could ask other freelancers about money? So I'm going to reshuffle our groups here and send you guys off for 5 minutes. I'll see you back here soon.
Okay, I'm a slow typer. So I got the first one. What would you do if you didn't need to make money? What was the second one?
I did a copy and paste, Emily, this time. I'm actually thinking just in the chat here. So what would you do if you didn't have to make money? What is a financial goal you're working on in your business? And what do you wish you could ask other freelancers about money?
You're awesome. All right. I'm doing what I would do if I didn't have to make money.
Yes.
Because as I think most people know, everything that I've done actually hasn't. It's paid its bills for the most part, but that's about it. And so I am so fortunate to have a partner in my life, my fiance, that has said, you know what, this is your dream. This is important. You go do that. What is the financial goal you're working on in your business? Is to maybe make money.
Yeah.
So I can bring on those team members, right?
Yeah, and I think getting more specific about it. Like one member of the Pledgettes, she was at $3,000 a month in revenue, and she wanted to work up to 4K and then 5K. And by the end of 2020, she got up to 10K because she was able to pivot.
Awesome.
Yeah, she pivoted through COVID to say, you know, like, what can I do in my business? What do my customers need? And really leaning in and listening to her customer, she evolved her business quite a bit and totally overachieved that goal. So I think it's like when we think about, and Emily, I know you probably have specific numbers, but if we just say, I want to make more money, that's a wish.
It's too nebulous. Yeah. There's no boundaries. There's nothing to really hit. You can't. I mean, I think you and I are the same. I do like data and, you know, being able to track. And I mean, shoot, I have a dog that weighs 51 pounds and she needs to weigh 55 pounds. So she's got some health issues. So every Friday I get on the scale, I measure me, whether I like it or not. And then I pick her up and I measure her. And we literally have a spreadsheet, right? Is she going up? Is she going down? What do we feed her? All the things, right? Because you don't know if you don't track, at least to some degree.
Yeah.
So I do, mine are less specifically money oriented as much as how do I make all the things that I've created work and move forward, and without, you know, I think you and I have talked about it. You know, I've dealt with quite a bit of burnout over the last few years as well, just because I've created a lot and I'm good at creating stuff. I'm a starter. So evaluating that. So maybe some of this money conversation is how do you integrate both? Where do you need your money and things like that? So our life, we use our money a little bit differently, what I make versus what he makes. So I think that might be a big piece of it as well. I'm probably not answering a question, but.
No, that's great. And I love that because I look at how I work and how I make money in different ways too, because I love to think about different revenue streams. So I do agency freelance work. I do direct freelance work. And then I also have then used my wealth and my money to invest in real estate, to invest in retirement accounts, to my husband and I bought a restaurant. So I have multiple revenue streams, and in each of those revenue streams, I get to use different parts of my brain, and there's pros and cons to everything. I love the agency work because I don't have to do any selling. I just, get projects handed to me. And that's really great. I love the direct client work because I really seek out the clients that I specifically want to work with. So I think it's great to think about money and not I'm a marketer, therefore I can only make money in marketing. How can I make money in marketing? But to really look at with my skills, network, and experience, how do I want to have revenue streams in my life?
Yeah, that's fabulous. I mean, look at your hobbies even. So for me, I love woodworking, right? So I've been teaching myself woodworking. My father passed away. I ended up with his table saw, and I went and cut a 2x4, and that was it was like shooting a gun. Again, I'm from Texas. I like to shoot guns. It was just so satisfying to cut a 2x4. It's like going, man, what if the 2x4 was longer? So I got a 2x6, and now here I am. I've got an entire woodworking basically shop in my garage, and it turns out that I love making cabinet doors.
Oh,
cabinet doors. That's really the only thing I like to make. I can make you a drawer. I don't like it, but I can make you a drawer. So my sister's house that I helped her renovate so that she could flip, it was a 50-year-old house, and cabinet doors are kind of stupid expensive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that goes into them. So that's where I kind of cut my teeth. I made every single cabinet door for her house.
So did you leave the cabinets in and just do new doors?
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah. The cabinets usually don't have to be changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on what you want to do. But anyway.
And I love this, as freelancers, freedom is part of our name.
Freedom Lancers.
Freedom Lancers. We really do
Where's
get
another
to
URL?
choose. We get to choose how we're spending our time, how we make money. We have a lot of choices in this. And I know I got into freelancing for more choices. And I think, just don't feel that you have to do freelancing the way that your mentor does freelancing or the way you see other people do freelancing. Show up, be a hybrid professional, be a multi-hyphenate, do what makes sense and define what success looks like for you.
Okay, I've heard of multi-potentialite. What is multi-hyphenate?
Oh, yeah. So multi-hyphenate, you, Emily, are a digital marketer, you're a conference organizer, you're a cabinet maker. So you have all these hyphens in your title of what you could be.
Multi-hyphenate. Man, that is awesome.
You're a multi-hyphenate.
I may have to put that out here.
Is
there a hyphen in there?
I love all, yeah. My hyphen also includes being a dog mom. That's very important hyphen for me.
That is, I've joined that. Multi-hyphenate. Is that how you spell it?
A multi-hyphenate? Wait, where am I? Oh, yeah, multi-hyphenate.
Okay.
There's a podcast I was on that was Blood, Sweat, and Careers, and they interview multi-hyphenates all the time. And it's just really cool to hear, a makeup artist / marketer hyphen, lots of different things, And so I think let's not force ourselves to be one thing or the other. All right. Welcome back. How are your conversations? Are you making some new friends, having some good money conversations? Again, share in the chat anything that you would like to share. I think these conversations are so incredibly powerful. And I loved, Gina said through another professional organization, they have established accountability partners, which are a great way to keep up with business goals, share ideas, etc. Maybe you found a accountability partner here in this session today or at this conference, or again, just in all of these different avenues that you're in. So just keep having those conversations. Let's keep talking about money. And as we think about who else we can talk about money with, I'm going to share my screen here again and talk about this idea of building your financial A-team. So for me, I kind of look at my financial A-team much like I look at my professional network. Hold on. Let me get into windows or blocking where I want to go. All right, your financial A-team. So what if you took the same intentionality that you have in building your professional network and applied that to the financial part of your life? Let's build your financial A-team. So this is my even-keeled, super awesome German grandma. And I love this. I channel my grandma whenever I receive any free, unsolicited advice in my life, because anything that you say to my grandma, she looks with this look, a little suspicious, but focused, interested, and eager to hear what you have to say. But regardless of what you say, she smiles, nods, and says, "That's nice." And that's how I feel about that's how I feel about all advice, especially financial advice. So I think it's important to listen, to hear what other people are going through, to hear their experiences, to hear the lessons that they've learned, but to internalize them and do what makes sense for you. Filter them by who's giving you this advice. What is the benefit that they get by giving you this advice? So let's jump into the 5 types of people you should have on your financial A-team. So the first are growth partners. So a growth partner is generally a licensed professional. They are closest to your goals and they understand your current financial situation. So these are the people that I share all my numbers with. I share all my big goals. I share my current financial situation, and they have the experience, the expertise, the licenses, the products, the services to help me achieve my goals as fast as possible. When I consider retirement, do I have a certified financial planner or a financial advisor? If I want to invest in real estate, do I have a realtor, a lender, an insurance agent on my financial A-team? If I want to scale my business, do I have a business coach? Maybe I need to understand my numbers better. I've worked with a fractional CFO last year to help me with business modeling and a financial strategy. Another growth partner for me in my business is the business specialist at my community bank that I bank with. She's somebody that I can call and ask questions. We can strategize around what products are best for my business and what stage it's in. I work with a tax attorney who answers all of my questions around taxes. So I'm getting all of these different perspectives from these expertise. When taking advice from growth partners, also understand where they're coming with their expertise. I don't believe that anyone is an all-knowing money guru, financial expert in every aspect. But I really do respect the area of expertise that people are giving me advice. And when those experts know my goals and my current financial situation, I will listen to their advice stronger. Connectors. These are the people who know someone. So they might know somebody who has achieved your goals before. They might know somebody who is in a similar situation to you. They've got a guy, they've got a girl, they've got all these different people for you. But they don't have to know your current financial situation. I love being a connector. I love hearing about people's goals and saying, It sounds like you've got a lot of money blocks as you're growing your business. Have you considered working with a financial therapist? Did you guys know those exist? I think that's so awesome. Of course, there's a financial therapist. There are all these therapists with different specialties and expertise. They might know somebody who's great at bookkeeping or tax prep or financial modeling of some kind. So connectors are very powerful people, but they can help you. Be cautious of taking their advice. Because they have done it once doesn't mean that you can just follow in their same footsteps and achieve the same results. The third are the mentors and the mentees. So who's 10 steps ahead of you and who's 10 steps behind you? These are people that are inspirational. They're going to change the world for us. These are people who can help you think bigger, dream bigger, set bigger goals, and answer those questions for you. I love my mentor is somebody I talk about pricing with nonstop. She really understands my business. She understands my money blocks and my money stories. And she understands that the value that I'm in. We have this short code because we can quickly talk about SOWs and self-directed IRAs and SEP IRAs and client strategies and pricing strategies and all of these things in our business without having to explain everything. Sometimes I love my parents. Again, they gave me a great foundation with my financial picture, but sometimes when I start talking about my work, my dad will, even just this week, my dad asked me, he's like, so what is it that you do? And so he's not going to be a mentor for me because he doesn't understand all the work that I do. That fourth group is the high five tribe. This is my favorite. We need to normalize these money conversations. We need to celebrate success. We need to celebrate progress and these milestones. Find those people who are so excited that you can just say, I just got my biggest SOW signed by the biggest new client that I've ever met. And they're right there high-fiving you, helping you out. Your high five tribe knows that you're not competing. You can collaborate. That's the greatest thing about money is that we can all win. If I earn a big SOW, it doesn't mean that Mila's going to lose a big SOW. No, there's big SOWs for all of us. There are enough clients out there for all of us. So let's normalize these conversations. Let's talk to our high five tribe. Let's get going. The fifth and final are these diverse thinkers. So I've never invested in fine art. I don't think it's going to be part of my investment portfolio. I don't really understand it, but I love talking to one of my friends who invests in fine art because I love to understand what's her risk tolerance? What's her process for identifying where to invest and how? What the heck is she doing? And maybe I'm not going to agree with her. I'm not going to follow in her footsteps. But maybe I'm going to learn something about how she evaluates risk. And that's going to apply to my financial success and my relationship with money. These diverse thinkers, maybe they were early in investing in cryptocurrency or leveraging online banks. They want to go test stuff out and try stuff and surround yourself with some of these people because online banks are where it's at. That's where you get lower fees. Like Lily, you get no fees as a freelancer to open up your online bank. And I think that's awesome. Byron, thank you for the book recommendation. I love Jean Chotsky's book, her podcast, all of that is awesome. Jean is a leader in normalizing money conversations. I haven't read The Path by Peter Malik, but I'm going to add that to my list. The Pledgettes has a book club, so every other month we're reading a different book. So I'm always looking for some book recommendations. All right, let me check on time. So we've got 5 minutes here. First, I'd love it if you want to keep in touch with me. Again, I love being a connector. So if there is, if you've got some goals and you don't know what direction to start, what growth partners you need, if you're looking for some mentors, a high five tribe, some diverse thinkers, please let me know. Also at thepledgettes.com/keep it going. I have 3 financial worksheets there. One is building your financial A-team, so it goes a little bit more in depth with what we just talked about. Another is on setting goals. It's that worksheet that you saw on the screen. And the third is about taking an active role in your finances. And so there's a worksheet on 43 different ways that you can take an active role in your finances. And talking with other freelancers, talking about money is on the list of how you can have take an active role in your finances. So as we wrap up here, I would love to hear from some people in the room. What is one commitment you want to take based on our conversation today? And feel free to unmute yourself and share. I'm not sure if it's going to catch on StreamYard, so I might repeat what you say so that you can hear that. Who wants to share? We're all thinking. Also, as you kind of think, what I love some last few questions to think about as well is, what are the benefits of having more freelancers talk about money? And what are some financial systems and tools you use in your business? What are some best practices you have for the way that you manage money in your business? Emily, is there a commitment you want to make based on your conversation today?
I think I'd have to give it more time to, maybe that's kind of what everybody's like. We just went through all these really, really big questions and probably learned some stuff about ourselves. And now we need to sort of process that. Some of us will do some journaling, I know, and some of us will reach out to, like you said, some of these other people that we felt safe with and had conversations and like, okay, let's talk this through. And I would, I don't know if challenge is really the right word, but I would definitely invite everybody out there to, if you don't know the answer to this question, to maybe make that a goal and find the answer to that question for yourself.
Yes. Nobody was born with financial literacy. Anybody who has it, set the goal, set the intention to learn it, and they went out and learned it. They did it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like anything else in your business that you may or may not have known how to do when you first started, right? I mean, the example that I use the most is send an invoice. It does come natural to some people, but there's a lot of people that are like going, okay, I get that I have to go send them something so that they will send me money back. But how do I do that? What do I put in it? What platform do I use? One of my favorite platforms is Wave Apps.
Yes.
I love that it's free. I love that I can manage my chart of accounts. I'm, kind of dweeby that way. And, it gives me my reports. It does a lot, especially for the price, which is $0. So if you're not familiar with
Wave Apps.
Oh, I do too. I love Wave Apps.
Awesome.
Yay!
I'm a huge Wave fan, yeah.
No?
Bruce, go ahead.
What is it called?
Waveapps.com, yeah. It was just recently, within the past year or so, or maybe a year and a half, it was bought by H&R Block, but originally, it was a startup, and it's free. The only thing I pay for is credit card processing, which I would pay for anyway, anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now they've added banking services on and tax services through H&R Block, of course.
Yes.
Is that primarily an accounting platform?
Yes.
It's a book. I mean, I would call it bookkeeping. I mean, my bookkeeping needs are so, I don't know, it's really basic. I mean, I don't really have a complex financial, operation here. So it serves my needs. My bank data pulls my bank data into the thing. I don't pay for that either. I mean, it's just it's really, really nice. Yeah.
You can set up your credit cards in it.
I'm a designer, so it's like if I can do it, anybody can.
I use FreshBooks, and I do like the invoice generation and the time management or time documentation aspects of it. I've always used Quicken, so I've kind of got. I'm sure there's a lot of all-in-one solutions, but you almost have to have more than one to pick and choose what does.
Well, guys, I'm going to pull off of StreamYard and close the session down. Those of you guys that are in Zoom, we're still over there, and we're going to continue that conversation. But I know that there's another session coming up right after this one, so I want to make sure you guys can get away and use that. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for your comments. I really appreciated it. And those of you guys in Zoom, I'll be right back over there. See you guys.